Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to be tier ranking every book I read this year. 60 books. Some books I haven't talked about at all this year. So this is also going to be kind of a fall wrap up, not really. And we're going to be tier ranking them just because I was going to do like an all books I read again, but I'll link up the one I did last year. But that was just like a chaotic, like so many books, such a mess. Like I'm sorry, I wasn't doing it this year. But tier ranking's fun, so I wanted to do that. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say. Let's pull up the tier rank. Okay, so starting off, I'm just gonna quickly go through the tier ranks I decided today. I decided to do them based on fast food for no reason other than I couldn't think of anything more clever or witty or funny, and this actually like made a lot of sense in my mind. So I'm gonna quickly explain them real quick. So McDonald's fries is god tier. Absolutely never, well, it never disappoints really. I can't go a week without thinking about it. It's just god tier. McDonald's fries, god tier. Second, we got Burger King chicken fries, which is always hit. I mean, not always hit, but they're usually a good time. But you know, I don't think about them all the time, but every time I do eat them, I'm like, yes, this is some good shit. So that's like the second. And we got Vanilla Frosty, and it's like, yeah, she's a good time. Like every time I have her, she's a good time. Nothing to write home about. She's like she's fine, you know, she's good. Crunchwrap Supreme is, I really didn't like her, but that doesn't mean other people don't love it, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And then I just have Arby's. So take that as you will. But that's the bottom. Top, bottom. Okay, 60 books. We gotta get moving. Okay, so starting off, we have Clockwork Princess. Reread this year. It used to be one of my favorites of all time. I don't know if when I was just reading it again, it didn't hit the same or what. I'm gonna say it's still BK chicken fries, but it's certainly not McDonald's fries. It's not Vanilla Frosty. It's not Vanilla Frosty because it's still, I really still do love the characters, but it just like didn't hit as hard the second time. So take that as you will. Next up, How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories. I did a whole vlog on this. I'll link it up above. You can watch it, check it out. It's a interesting time. This gives me big Vanilla Frosty vibes. It's good, you know, it's fine. Nothing to write home about. Okay, it's not, I mean, it was good. It was fine. Just like Vanilla Frosties are. Sometimes they hit, some of the stories in there hit, and some of them were just like, I don't really care. Go Ask Alice. This is supposed to be this diary from this girl that kind of spirals into drug addiction. When I first read it, like when I read it through the first time, I was thinking like, you know, some Vanilla Frosty, even like kind of entering into BK chicken fries. After I went on Goodreads, I found out that the story is fake. So this was allegedly supposed to be like a true story, somebody's diary that was like found, and they kind of just adapted to kind of give awareness to drug abuse, but it's fake. So therefore it goes into Arby's because it really pissed me off. Like it really made me mad that it was a fake story that this author, psychologist person was like using to send through some message, and also had some like religious undertone things. It was like very dirty and it was like slimy, and it just made me really, really mad after I found out about it. So yeah. Next, The Afterlife of Holly Chase. I talked about this in my favorite books of favorite books of 2020 video. We'll link it up above. This, oh gosh. So like I really do want to conserve McDonald's fries for like my new all-time favorite books of all time. Not just like 5 stars, because there'd be a decent bit of books in there. But is it on the same level as like Clockwork Princess? I'm gonna put it in BK chicken fries. It's not like something I think I would enjoy all the time, like every reread. It's not like something I'm gonna think about like for the rest, like all the time, but it did like really move me, and it was like super like wow, like wow. I love that book. It was a Christmas Carol retelling. I talk about it more in that favorites video, but I really loved it, and it hit. The Start of Me and You, YA contemporary romance about this girl whose boyfriend, I talked about this at length in my will I be reading more from these authors. I'll link it up above. This, oh god, I really love the ending, but this is hard. I think I'm gonna go BK chicken fries. This was really good. I really enjoyed my time, but it just like, it's not like a New God Tier book for me, but it is really fun. But it didn't like push me farther, you know? It's kind of making me think like the Afterlife of Holly Chase should be higher, but we're gonna keep it there for now. The Cheerleaders I really disliked. I know other people might like it, so it's going in Crunchwrap Supreme, but I really didn't like it at all. Like, at all. It was a thriller about these, mystery thriller about these 5 cheerleaders that had died back in the day, all in like quick succession from a bunch of different things, and it's now following one of the sisters of the cheerleaders in the future and her trying to unravel that it might not have been a coincidence that all these cheerleaders died. Whatever. It was just like boring. The writing was like and it was just super boring. I could barely push myself to read it. Like, it just wasn't it. Wake, same situation. Crunchwrap Supreme, it was okay. I see why other people might like it. It was kind of fun, but it got really fucking weird like at the end. Like, I was just like, I mean, it wasn't like offensive or anything, but it was just, I don't know. This was like about a girl that can go into other people's dreams. It was just like, I don't know, nothing to write home about. And like, meh. City of Lost Souls, Vanilla Frosty. This was the first book that I read this year from Cassandra Clare that I hadn't already previously read. So I had read up to City of Fallen Angels prior to reading this book. And I don't know, I was enjoying the series. I'm gonna finish the series this month, the Mortal Instruments series. But like, this one was like, okay. It wasn't like my favorite, but I'll rank the rest of them. You'll see that soon. My Life Next Door. This is gonna go in the same with, oh god, this is hard. Okay, I'm gonna put this in Vanilla Frosty too. So I did like The Start of Me and You better. They're kind of like, not similar, but they're both like YA contemporary romance that was written a couple years ago, and it doesn't really have like anything super like deep to tell you. But this one was just like about a girl falling in love with her neighbor. There's like a bunch of different stuff that happens along the story, obviously, but you know, pretty run of the mill. I gave it like 4 stars. I did really like it, but I feel like it fits like where it's sitting right now, so that makes sense. So this next one doesn't have a title, but it's Juice Like Wounds by Sean McGuire. It is a novella that takes place in the same world that In an Absent Dream, which is the 4th book in the Wayward Children series, takes place. So this is just a novella from that. I really enjoyed this. It's gonna go BK chicken fries. If you didn't know, In an Absent Dream, 4th book, Wayward Children series, my favorite out of the series and one of my favorite books that I read this past year. So this story was obviously set up to be kind of a win for me. I really loved it, and it was just like really good. So I feel good about that. This level here is, I don't know. Heartstopper, Alice Oseman, really cute. Best friends, 2 lovers, academy romance between these 2 boys, graphic novel. BK chicken fries. It was super fun. It was like all around adorable, like good stuff, okay? Good stuff. Clockwork Prince, Vanilla Frosty. I don't know if I really have to explain that. Like Clockwork Princess, you know what, I'm just gonna move Clockwork Princess down. I feel like that makes me feel better about that. Yeah, okay, so that makes me feel better. I'm gonna put them both there. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's just because so I do this live show with a bunch of my friends and we talked about all these books. I don't know if it's just like everyone else doesn't really like these books, so I don't know if my feelings for them have kind of gone down, or it's because I read them so quickly that I don't enjoy them as much as I used to, or I'm older now, obviously. I read them like 4-5 years ago, so obviously I'm expected to have some different feelings, but I still really like the Mortal Instruments books. So like I'm just kind of confused overall on my feelings on the Inversional Vices, the Mortal Instruments, all those. So yeah, I don't know. I feel good with that being Vanilla Frosty though, because they feel very Vanilla Frosty to me. Giovanni's Room, I read this for a workbook club. This is just a story, oh god, I can't even really remember it. It's about these gay men in Paris in 1960s, 70s. I really could not tell you, honestly. This is just like Crunchwrap Supreme. Oh, Crunchwrap Supreme. I really couldn't tell you anything about it. I barely remember, and it didn't really do anything for me. Becoming Michelle Obama is McDonald's fries. I adored that book. I like really felt like I gained something from that book. It's obviously like meant to be sort of inspirational, so I think that's kind of the point, but it was still like really beautiful. And it was just like kind of like nice to read because I listened to it while I was working, and so it was just like made me feel good in general. I don't know what else to say about that. Okay, I'll Give You the Sun, McDonald's fries. I'm obsessed with it. I think about that book weekly. I think about how it made me feel, what it did, like everything about it. It follows two twins. There's two storylines, but also like time periods. So it alternates chapters between the past and the present. The past is from one twin's perspective, and the present, future, whatever you want to say, is from the other twin's perspective, and they've kind of had a falling out between the years. And it just deals with grief and sexuality and relationships, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning, amazing. Love it. Like, I loved it a lot. So it's absolutely up there, McDonald's fries. City of Fallen Angels is Vanilla Frosty. Very Vanilla Frosty to me. Like, I just like, whatever. It was a filler book. It was fine. It's not Crunchwrap Supreme because I did find some joy in it. But it's, yeah, middle of the road. Okay, so those were all the books I read at the end of the year. I know I didn't give like a ton of thoughts on those, but I'm gonna try to speed it up because I have talked about the rest of these books before in wrap-ups. So, you know, for things I have strong feelings on, I'll, you know, talk some more about them, but from now on these are in random order. Whatever tier maker decided, that's what I went with. Okay, City of Ashes, Vanilla Frosty. Very Vanilla Frosty, like very much like Vanilla Frosty. Shadow and Bone. Okay. There should probably be a level between BK Chicken Fries and Vanilla Frosty, but I'm not changing it now. Oh god. See, okay. Okay. So I'm gonna put in BK Chicken Fries, okay? It feels wrong to put it next to Heartstopper, but then at the same time it doesn't, because I found immense joy in that book in the beginning. It's kind of tapered off at the end, but like it's definitely more enjoyment than like even like the King of Elfame. So like I'm keeping it there. Okay, now we have, are these all of the Harry Potters I read? 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So these are all the Harry Potters I read. I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you a distinctive thing about any of these. Not a single thing. When I was listening to them on audiobook, I read them like very quickly. I was hardly retaining what I was reading, and honestly I realized at the end that I was only doing it to kind of please like my innate feeling that I needed to read those books. I will say I think I liked Deathly Hallows like the most, and then maybe, God, I don't know what happens in any of these books distinctly. So like this accounted for like a huge chunk of my reading pages wise last year, and I retained almost nothing. And I still do stand by the fact that like this is other people's thing, like they weren't really my thing. I gave some of them really high ratings, but Crunchwrap Supreme, other people saying not my thing, whatever, like no, I don't know, it just was like okay. The Tailor, I really love The Tailor. It's like a short story, so it kind of feels like, I know I put the whatchamacallit, the Wayward Children novella up in BK Chicken Fries. This one was like good. I think I gave it like 4 or 5 stars, but like it's still like, I don't think about it a lot, but it is a Shadow and Bone novella, and it follows like a backstory of one of the characters, not a backstory as much as like kind of like the inner workings of what was happening behind the scenes in Shadow and Bone from like a different character's perspective. Really interesting, but you know. Landline, oh my landline. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna keep it there, okay? I'm gonna keep it there. I'll be taking no comments at this time. Heartless, Crunchwrap Supreme. It just like wasn't for me. It was just like not for me, and I acknowledge that. Like it just wasn't my book. P.S. I Still Love You, Vanilla Frosty. I just like that book just irritates me. I mean, it's part of my favorite series of all time, but like every time I think of that book, it just irritates me. So, you know, that just is how it is. Illuminae, I reread this year. I reread a ton of books this year, like a ton. This is McDonald's fries. I'm obsessed with Illuminae. It is god tier always. Swear on This Life. BK Chicken Fries, not McDonald's fries. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. I really enjoyed it in the time. It like put me through it. So like yes, I'm good with that. Obsidio, I gave 5 stars. It was like a character driven like 5 stars though. Like the plot was like to me. I'm still gonna put it in BK Chicken Fries. It's not up there with Illuminae, and honestly let's just put Gemina up there right now too. Where's Gemina? Oh, Gemina is also McDonald's chicken fries, or McDonald's fries. I just love those 2 books so much. Obsidia was kind of like a letdown comparison wise, and I reread all of those. So these 2 like stood up like a reread too. Like I adored those. But you know, meh. Every Heart a Doorway, I gave this 4.5 stars. I think it's Vanilla Frosty. Let's just do the other ones. Down Among the Sticks and Bones is BK Chicken Fries. That one hits. I was like obsessed with that. Beneath the Sugar Sky, Vanilla Frosty. In an Absent Dream, McDonald's fries. Amazing, beautiful. Like wow. Come Tumbling Down is Crunchwrap Supreme. I know a lot of people loved it. It just wasn't for me. I'd read them all pretty close together. Every Heart a Doorway I really enjoyed. Down Among the Sticks and Bones was like yes, like I loved it. And then Beneath the Sugar Sky was like a little bit down again, but it was still a good time. In an Absent Dream was like amazing, god tier. Loved what it was telling me, loved the world, loved everything about it. And then Come Tumbling Down was just like it came tumbling down. Like it was like not what I wanted after reading In an Absent Dream. I'm still gonna keep reading. I'm excited for Across the Green Grassy Fields. I have good hopes for that. City of Bones. Okay, Vanilla Frosty. I like City of Bones. I will admit I like the first 3. I think rereading them this year kind of reaffirmed how much I really loved like the OG trilogy of the Mortal Instruments. So take that as you will. Okay, what do we got? Okay, The Demon in the Wood. This is another Shadow and Bone novella. This is from the, why can't I remember, the Darkling's point of view in the past. I'm gonna go with BK Chicken Fries, honestly. Like, this brought me this, I feel like this gave me a lot of interesting perspective on Shadow and Bone, and I feel like if Shadow and Bone's up there, I should put The Demon in the Wood up there as well. That feels right enough for me. Wanderlost, absolutely BK Chicken Fries. I loved, like, this was just like such a good in the moment thing. I don't think about it much anymore, but it was so like amazing. I loved it in the moment. Like, good all around moves. Oh, I love that book. I feel like it's like really just like, it didn't give me like, it didn't like teach me anything. It didn't like, I don't know, I didn't gain anything from it, but it was such like a beautiful, like, fun book that I absolutely loved. Otherworld is Crunchwrap Supreme. It was okay. It was just like okay. Like, not, it was just like fine. American Street is BK Chicken Fries, because that book hit in like the most like heart-wrenching way possible. It was just like, ouch. Like, that book hurt me. Ouch. Yeah, I feel good with that there. Life and Death, I barely read. It feels like wrong to even like rank it. I guess I just put it in like Vanilla Frosty, because like it was fine, but like it wasn't like anything super special. The Wedding Date, so like objectively I put it in Crunchwrap Supreme because I know people love it, but I'm putting it in Arby's because it actually irritated me, and that's that on that. Oh yeah, I talked about this in my most disappointing books. I'll link it up above for you. Freshwater, Crunchwrap Supreme. I gave this a semi-high rating, honestly, but that was more because I really respect like how much it does mean to people and how much I'm sure other people will gain from it. It just like was absolutely not for me. It's very graphic and gory. It is very dark, and I really don't venture into that much. This was just like a very hard book for me to read, and I'd be lying if I said like, oh, it's like amazing. Like, it is objectively, but subjectively to me, like, I really like the process of reading it was like hard for me. Yeah, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, Vanilla Frosty, very run-in-the-mill YA contemporary romance. Yeah, very middle. My Plain Jane, Crunchwrap Supreme, it just like wasn't for me. I don't think it was for a bunch of people. I think there was generally people had problems with it, but I'm just gonna put it in Crunchwrap Supreme. City of Glass. Oh god, I love City of Glass. I love City of Glass, okay? And I feel like rereading it this year kind of reaffirmed how much I love City of Glass. I'll be taking no critiques at this time, okay? Moving on. The Bride Test. I'm trying to think of like which ones. Honestly, BK Chicken Fries, because I really love this book, but I really don't remember it as well as I would think I would have if I remember all of these books like very well, like all of my top tier books like well, but honestly The Bride Test I don't remember as well, so that's where she's going for right now. The right swipe is Vanilla Frosty. Middle of the road, fine, but it was fine. It was just fine. Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky, also Vanilla Frosty, just like fine. Nothing to write home about. Nothing in general that like was super great. I don't remember much of it, honestly. Yeah. Punk 57, on the other hand, is absolutely McDonald's fries. I remember that book like it is tattooed on my thigh. Yeah, it's very distinct in my mind. Okay, the Unhoneymooners, I'm gonna put that in BK Chicken Fries too. I don't remember, like, honestly, this is how bad it is. I don't even remember how I ranked my favorite books of the year, and I'm already like kind of like, did I like fuck up my rankings already by putting like something up that was actually lower? Whatever, I don't care. This is how I'm just doing it. It's not necessarily even based on like ranking, like actual star rating. This is just completely arbitrary. Okay, keep that in mind. Unhoneymooners, BK Chicken Fries. It hits when you eat it. Don't think about it all the time. Yes. The Friend Zone is Arby's. The more I think about this book, the more I absolutely hate it. Like, every time I think about it again, I'm reminded by how much I absolutely hate that stupid book. I feel like I give it like a 2-star. I need to change that to a 1. That's how much it pisses me off. A Heart So Fierce and Broken is very Vanilla Frosty to me. I don't remember much about it. It's very middle of the road. Same with The Curse of Dark and Lonely, honestly, too. I don't like, those books didn't really move me much. I love Bridget Kemmerer, all of her other books. I think all of her other books are in my like favorites books of all time. But these are just like not doing it for me, honestly. How We Fight for Our Lives is, see, I wouldn't have actually tier ranked this because I actually didn't give it a rating because it's like a memoir, and I only really give memoirs ratings if I absolutely adore them, like I did Becoming. But if I had to rank this, I'd probably put it, see, this feels wrong, like me to put somebody's like life story up against my fast food choices. Fuck, honestly, this is BK Chicken Fries. There's a lot of distinct moments I remember from this book. I talked about this with my book club, so my work book club, once again. I think that's why I have a lot of distinct thoughts about this too. But it really, really did move me, and I found a lot of heartbreaking stories within it. And so I feel like it did really have an impact, so I want to keep it in BK Chicken Fries. The Other People is Crunchwrap Supreme. I was really interested in it, and then I really didn't like it at all, and just overall, no. Yeah, it just like ended up, no. Love Boat Taipei is absolutely BK Chicken Fries. This didn't make my favorites list, actually. Spoiler alert for that video if you haven't seen it. But this book had one of the most fun reading experience I've had in 2020. It was just like so dramatic and so over the top, but I really did like love every bit of my reading experience with it. And yeah, that book is just like a trip. You Should See Me in a Crown, very similar to that. I absolutely really loved that book. I loved everything it told me. This is more like edging in the fact that like this book taught me a lot of things, but like the overall plot itself didn't move me to like the top of my list. But yeah, that book is phenomenal as well, so no shade on that book by putting it here. Honestly, it's like it's edging between here, but this didn't even make my favorites list, so it'd be fucked up for me to put it up top. It doesn't even make sense. The Betrothed is absolutely Arby's. Like, I can't with that book. I cannot with that. It's just, yeah, no. Clockwork Angel, we're just gonna put in Vanilla Frosty. It's where I put the rest of the series. The only book that's up top is City of Glass. Oh my god. Okay. This is my tier rank. Now I'm gonna kind of like look through this and see if there's anything that seems wrong to me. Okay. I'm moving The Afterlife of Holly Chase up top. See, isn't that wrong though? Because like I ranked, I think, Heartstopper above The Afterlife of Holly Chase on my favorites list. Actually above a bunch of these. But like, if we're talking like best reading experience, like I really loved The Bride Test and The Honeymooners and even Heartstopper. Like, it was just like, fun. But The Afterlife of Holly Chase I think about a lot. So I feel like it just makes sense there. I'd have to like rework like how I plan on thinking of like my favorite books of all time and like my ranking system. I say this every year, but it's so hard. But yeah, I think I'm good with that. So I think my top makes sense. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, BK chicken fries looks good. Vanilla frosty looks about right. Honestly, the Taylor's gonna get moved up. The Taylor belongs up in here because that book like actually shook me. I was like very surprised by that. Yeah, okay, that feels right. Okay, I think I'm happy with this. These are all the books I read this year. This is all of them attributed to various fast food things I've eaten. And here it is. Here it is. Please let me know what you think of this down below. I'd love any and all thoughts about whatever I just did. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a mess, but thank you for taking the time to watch it, kind of hear me ramble about some books. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Leave down below any videos you want to see from me in the future. I'm planning out my entire year, or at least like the next couple of months of videos, and I really want to get them all in my head and ready to film. Get books if I need to get books, and like have some ideas flowing. So leave any thoughts, any videos you want to see from me down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye!